Step number 8 in starting your nonprofit is to set up your articles of incorporation and your bylaws. This can be a tough step. I'm Mark Lyda from Lyda Law Firm. Let's get started. So hear me out on this analogy. Your articles of incorporation are like the Constitution for your nonprofit. They are your founding documents. They are your bedrock guidance for what your nonprofit is and how it functions. They are very difficult to change, just like creating an amendment to the Constitution. Your bylaws are more like statutes, the laws that Congress passes, and they pass new ones every year because statutes are more specific, but also easier to change than the Constitution. Same thing with bylaws. They're more specific and they're easier to change than your articles of incorporation. If you've watched these videos, you know that whenever I think something can be DIY, I suggest that you do it yourself. This is one where it really is a good idea to make sure that you're consulting a lawyer in your state, because the articles of incorporation really should say specific things in order to make sure that your application with the IRS is approved, and also to make sure that your nonprofit is really on sound legal footing in terms of how it operates. So, for example, the IRS requires that if you are applying as a private foundation, that your articles of incorporation contain specific language about how money is used and protections against self-dealing and conflicts of interest, that sort of thing. Some of those things need to be in your articles of incorporations, and some of those things just should be in your articles of incorporation as a best practice. So you really want to consult a lawyer on this one. If you decide that you want to try to do it yourself and you're using some sort of forms that you find online, one thing is make sure that they are actual nonprofit forms and not the articles of incorporation that you would use for a for-profit corporation, because those will not be sufficient for starting your nonprofit. That would be like writing a constitution for the wrong country. You're setting up a specific nonprofit format. Also, if you try to do it yourself, I suggest that you make sure that if you're doing a private foundation, you use articles of incorporation, an articles of incorporation template that is specific for private foundations. And if you are applying as a public charity, make sure that you use some sort of form template that is specific to not just nonprofits, but to public charities. But really, on this one, it's a good idea to go to a lawyer for both the nonprofit and the bylaws. A good lawyer will help you talk through and think through not only what the IRS wants to see, but how you want your nonprofit to function, both on a foundational level with the articles of incorporation and in more of a day-to-day sense with your bylaws. Like so many other steps in this checklist, this serves kind of a dual purpose. And so it's not only for setting up your nonprofit, it's not only for the IRS application, it's also a really good exercise for you to go through the thought process of thinking, how do you want your nonprofit to function? How do you want to resolve disputes as you move forward? How do you want power to be distributed within your nonprofit? How do you want decisions to be made? All of those things are really important to think through now before waiting for some conflict or huge decision to arise before you even have thought through how you want to make those decisions or resolve those disputes. Don't skimp on this step. Step number 8, setting up your articles of incorporation and your bylaws. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly or just drop them in the comments below. Also, please remember to click like and subscribe to help keep legal education accessible for small businesses and nonprofits.